Hello everyone, welcome back to Equilance Balanced Perspective. Today we are going to delve into a fascinating, polarizing, and controversial figure in modern geopolitics, Victoria Nuland. Victoria Nuland, pawn of the deep state or a strategic diplomat. Some see Victoria Nuland as a brilliant diplomat shaping US foreign policy, while other claims she's a pawn or perhaps even a key player in the so-called deep state. So let's try to know more about her. Who is Victoria Nuland? And what role has she played in regime changes, particularly in Ukraine and other regions? Is she working for democracy, or is there a deeper, hidden agenda at play? Let's analyze this from all perspectives. So, buckle up. This is going to be an eye-opening discussion. Let's start with the basic. Victoria Nuland is a seasoned US diplomat with decades of experience in foreign affairs. She is currently serving as the Undersecretary of State for Political Affairs, one of the highest ranking positions in the US State Department. Nuland has also held prominent roles under both Democratic and Republican administration, including her tenure as the Assistant Secretary of State for European and Eurasian affairs during the Obama administration. But the question is, why has she become such a lightning rod for controversy? Her involvement in pivotal geopolitical movements like the 2014 Ukraine crisis has earned her both admiration and criticism. Some view her as a defender of democracy, while others accuses her of meddling in the internal affairs of sovereign nations. So today, let's try to unpack this. So first of all, let's start with Victoria Nuland and Ukraine. One of the key events that thrust Nuland into spotlight was her role in the 2014 Ukraine crisis. This was when mass protests known as the Euromaidan led to the ousting of Ukraine's pro-Russian president Viktor Yanukovych. Nuland was heavily involved in the US effort to support the protest movement, providing diplomatic backing and, according to some sources, even material support. There was a famous line that we all need to remember. Her infamous fuck. The EU that leaked phone call in 2014 reveal just how deeply she was involved in Ukraine's internal affairs. In the telephonic call, Nuland and the then US ambassador to Ukraine, Jeffrey, were heard discussing who should take leadership in the post-Yanukovych government. This added fuel to accusations that US was orchestrating a regime change in Ukraine. Critics argue that Victoria Nuland's actions and the broader US strategies exacerbated tensions with Russia, ultimately contributing to the ongoing war we see today. However, supporters of Nuland claim that Nuland was simply promoting democracy and helping Ukrainians achieve their aspiration of closer ties with Europe. This brings to the second question. Is Victoria Nuland a pawn of the deep state? So, to answer this, let's first try to clarify what the term deep state implies. As we discussed in our previous podcasts, the deep state refers to the unelected bureaucrats, intelligence agencies, and other powerful entities that operate behind the scene, shaping policies and outcomes regardless of who is in office. Nuland's extensive ties to government, think tanks, and non-governmental organizations, NGOs, have fueled speculation about her being part of the hidden network. For instance, her neoconservative background. So, as some of us may know, Nuland is married to Robert Kagan, a prominent neoconservative scholar and co-founder of the Project for the New American Century, PNAC. So this PNAC is a think tank associated with promoting US global dominance. This connection has led to label her as a part of the US foreign policy establishment. Now, second example that we get is for her role in regime changes. Beyond Ukraine, Nuland has been linked to US interventions and support from opposition groups in countries like Libya, Syria, and Georgia. Critics argue that these actions align with broader deep state agenda for destabilizing governments that opposes US interest. The third one is focus on strategic reasons. So Nuland's career has consistently revolved around geopolitically critical areas, that is Eastern Europe, the Middle East, and the Central Asia. This pattern raises question whether her work is purely diplomatic or part of a larger strategy to maintain the US hegemony. So, to understand Nuland's role, we need to examine the broader US approach to regime change. Often these interventions in regime change are framed as supporting democracies. Everywhere there is only one tagline. We are doing this for democracy and human rights. We are doing this for democracy and human rights. However, many see them as thinly veiled attempt to install government favoring the US interest. Take Ukraine as an example. While Nuland and others argued they were supporting the Ukrainian people's desire for democracy, but the leaked phone call suggests a more active role in shaping the outcome. Similarly, accusations there are also accusations that have been made about US sanctions in other countries, where the line support and interference became blurry. On the other side, those who are supporters of Nuland, they think she is simply a skilled diplomat navigating complex geopolitical realities. For her critics, she embodies the deep state agenda of using covert tactics to control global politics. So, Ukraine is not the only country where Nuland's influence has been noted. She has been associated with US strategies in Libya. During Obama administration, Nuland was part of the team managing US policy in Libya, which saw the overthrow of Muammar Gaddafi and subsequent chaos. Syria. Nuland supported US efforts to back opposition forces during the Syrian civil war, further complicating an already volatile situation. Russia. As a strong advocate of sanctions against Russia, Nuland has been a key player in the US-Russia standoff, making her a target of criticism from Moscow. Georgia. Nuland has supported US policies aimed at pulling Georgia closer to NATO, much to US dismay. Now, so what is the verdict? Is Victoria Nuland a defender of democracy or a power broker serving hidden agendas? The truth lies somewhere in between. Her action undeniably reflect a belief in US exceptionalism, the idea that America has a responsibility to shape the world in its image. While this has led to successes in promoting democracies in some areas or in some cases, it also caused instability and resentment in others. And we all know Syria, Libya are examples, or even Ukraine is an example. Whether you see Victoria Nuland as a hero or a villain depends on your perspective. Is she protecting democracy, or is she undermining it by imposing US will on other nations? That is for you to decide. So here are my final thoughts. Victoria Nuland is a complex figure, both a skilled diplomat and a controversial actor in global politics. Her involvement in regime changes, particularly in Ukraine, has made her a central figure in discussion about US foreign policy and the deep state. Now up to you, what do you think? Is she a pawn of the deep state, a strategic mastermind, or something in between? Let us know in the comment below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Equivalence Balanced Perspective. Together, let's continue exploring the truth behind the headlines. Until next time, stay curious and stay informed. This is Equivalence signing off.